All right, let's take a look at this discussion. Certainly one that's brought about some concern on social media platforms. The SA Youth Program, launched by the government to connect job seekers with legitimate employment and training opportunities, faced serious scam allegations. Job applicants have reported receiving suspicious and unprofessional messages. This issue has been widely discussed on social media, with some individuals experiencing theft and abduction after attending scam interviews. To discuss these serious concerns and steps are being taken to address them, we are joined by Zengeziwe Msimang, who's the Chief Communications Officer at Harambe. Zengeziwe, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Such a concerning matter when we think about how many vulnerable, particularly young people there are in the country that are desperate for opportunities and might jump at a message that might be fraudulent or a scam. But I want to start with this, how you came across the matter, complaints that you saw on social media?
Yes, we actually saw a post that was put up on Saturday afternoon that said, beware of SA youth because we're aware of people that could have gone missing on the platform. I think at the same time, there was another young woman who put up a post saying that her sister had gone missing and she had gone to an interview. The interview where her sister had gone missing the young lady has since been found. Thankfully, and the interview in which she had gone missing was not from the SA Youth platform, nor was it a partner who was loaded onto the SA Youth network. However, I think the social media storm that then ensued was as a result of the missing person with an interview, who went to an interview being then put into the same thread as the young person who had said, please beware of SA Youth.
Okay, so I imagine that then as Harambe, as the organization really that runs this SA Youth program, you've had to then do quite a bit of investigating. Have you been able to find anything that shows, number one, who's behind these scams, and also just how many victims they may have gotten to?
Yes, we immediately launched an investigation, which is still underway, but we do have preliminary findings. And I think the other measure that we took, as you said, Naledi, this is extremely grave and it's extremely serious. The SA Youth platform was established in order to protect young people and give them viable and legitimate work opportunities. And so we took it extremely seriously and understood that the opportunities that young people initially were talking about on social media were the field marketing opportunities. And so we suspended all companies immediately that were in the field marketing opportunity space. I think the other thing that we did is really go and try and reach out to every single person who said they were aware of somebody who had gone missing. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we haven't been able to find information about anyone who has gone missing through the platform or been abducted. Yeah. That said, I do think that it's important to note that job scams are a reality, and we have a dedicated team of agents that not only verify opportunities before they get onto SA Youth network, but that are constantly trying to bring down the fake SA Youth accounts that are really all over social media, some of them which are even verified. Yeah. And so I think it's almost the balance of trying to contain and bring down the fake websites, but also making sure that our system is safe, that we continue to verify all partners that come on the network, and also hear what young people are saying, which is looking at the field marketing opportunities themselves, which are often commission-based. They're often selling insurance, selling airtime, and we have placed 15,000 young people in those safely and successfully in those kind of opportunities. But I think we do need to look at those opportunities and listen to what young people are saying about how difficult they are and how they're just not satisfied with the kind of work that it is. Yeah.
Have you engaged law enforcement? And again, any idea on, getting to who or what is behind these scams?
So that is as I said, we did the preliminary investigation. The investigations are still ongoing. We reached out to the authorities, but what they require, which we are hoping that will come forward, is information of their first their concern is safety, and they need a person to be missing. So what they've said to us is that we need to continue with our investigations and try and find evidence of any missing people. And if we're able to find that, we immediately hand that over to the authorities. So we have.
Yeah, sorry, I need to step in there because that's concerning. I mean, are you essentially saying that you're hearing from law enforcement that a desperate young person looking for a job first has to go missing for them to look into who is behind the scams that are attracting these desperate young people?
I'm sorry, there are two separate issues. One is that in order for the claims that young people have gone missing, we need to have the young person that is missing. So that is what law enforcement is saying. With regards to the investigation on who is behind those scams, we are working with law enforcement, and we have reached out to them, and we are doing the private investigation as well at the same time, so that we can all work together. So I think that's just to separate the issues. In order to we've gone through as well SAPS's missing persons with all of the information that we've received over the weekend from social media and from young people, and we don't have any evidence of missing persons.
Yeah, okay. And that's, I think, a very important separation, so thanks for that. But then, of course, let's try and help the viewer here so that we don't want to find a missing person. We don't want to end up with a missing person as a result of it, right? So how do I know when I get the SMS that this is legitimate or not? Because I can tell you, if I am 24 years old and I've never worked and I'm desperate for an opportunity, and it says, well, you can be a field marketing agent and you can make this much money, meet at this point, you've been shortlisted. The excitement is really quite something, right? And, I think we've all been there at some point. You're excited, you're finally in the workforce, it feels like. So what do we look out for? What have you found where that is concerned?
So with the SA Youth platform, what we do is we send, there is a link that you will receive via SMS. And that link takes you to what we call an opportunity card. So the link takes you back to the opportunity and lets you know what the opportunity is, where it is, etc. And so what we would like young people to do is make sure that when they receive a link purporting to come, a message purporting to come from SA Youth, they need to make sure that it has a link, because the real opportunity is within that link and it takes you directly back to the platform. So that is the surefire way of ensuring that the link is verified and it's from the SA Youth platform. I think another thing is within the platform itself, we have tips that we have about being alert. And this is not just for, it's for work seekers broadly, because as you've said, Naledi, there are scams that exist out there. And there are people who are aware that with almost 9 million young people who are unemployed, there are desperate young people. And therefore, they create these fake accounts that are not verifiable.
Yeah, you talk about a link, and I think that for me anyway, that's a lot of the time when I see a link in an SMS, I actually get quite nervous. So maybe just a few red flags to watch out for. Maybe you can talk to us about what that link would look like so that we're able to verify and make sure. And also where some of these SMSs that we have seen people posting on social media that they suspect are the scams, send them to a certain address. One even saying, when you get to this address, and I saw my name on there, very concerning. Someone saying, when you get there, call Naledi, for instance. Where those SMSs have addresses, are those legitimate?
Those are not legitimate unless they have come through the SA Youth network. So if you receive an SMS, for example, that says there is an opportunity, this is where the opportunity is, and as you said, Naledi, please come through to X place. If there is no link attached to that that's taking you back into the system, which is toll-free, then what we would say is immediately call the SA Youth Support Network, which is 0800 727272, or send an email to support@sayouth.org.za. But I think what's also important is that when you receive these messages, what we do within the system, which is why that link takes you back to the system, is that we have a flagging opportunity. So any suspicious information that has been sent, anything where a young person thinks, I am being spammed, I've received too many messages, this location doesn't seem valid, that can be flagged on the SA Youth platform. And once it's flagged there, we immediately call both the young person to get more information as well as the opportunity holder if they are valid and verify, and then inform the young person to not go into that interview.
Okay.
I think it's just also important to note that what we did do this week is reach out to when we suspended all of the partner employers that are doing temporarily, that are doing field marketing opportunities, what we also did was send a direct message to young people who had interviews this week so that they could also know not to go to those interviews. And this is because we want to make sure that young people are safe while we continue the investigations. I would like to reiterate that we're confident that our verification process in terms of people who get loaded, employers who get loaded onto the platform is safe, but we do understand that there are, for example, employers who send too many SMSs spamming young people, which then correctly raises their red flags. And so that is also part of what we are trying to solve for in this upcoming week. And we'll inform everyone of the steps that have been taken with regards to the spamming of young people, too many SMSs being sent to them with these locations, etc.
Yeah, if you are watching at home, I really would suggest that you quickly take a picture of that number. We've got the number up on the screen, 0800 727272. Perhaps you've got a young person in your family that is going to be looking for opportunities. They're going to want to hold on to that number so that if they do get an SMS, they call that number to verify that it is a legitimate opportunity. But let's talk about the positives, if we will, because now what we've done is we talked about the scam and we might have frightened off some young people that genuinely are looking for opportunities. You talked about placing legitimately 15,000 young people in field marketing opportunities. What other opportunities do you have and where do we go to look at those?
So you can go on to, young people can go onto sayouth.mobi. And I think it's important to note that it's a free site. The platform was established in order to reduce the challenges that young people face. And we have placed over 1 million young people into earning opportunities, and those have been across the economy. What we're really trying to do is break the networks often that prevent young people from entering into the labor market. And so those opportunities are across the board and across the economy. With the digital economy has a lot of promise, and we've placed a lot of young people into global business services type opportunities, but it really is across the board. And another important thing for young people out there to know and appreciate is that the SA Youth platform also has learning opportunities, because what we understand is that it's critical for young people to keep engaged and keep learning so that as our economy grows and more opportunities become available, they are ready for them. And so really the opportunities that are on SA Youth, we load on average and often more than 500,000 opportunities in a year. And those are from across the ecosystem and across the economy. Yeah,
thank you so much for that interview. Really, really helpful. And hopefully we're able to share that number as much as possible. 0800 727272. That's where you call Harambe and the SA Youth program to verify opportunities that you see. Right, so that we don't end up with a situation of missing people, chasing jobs that aren't real and end up getting them into quite a bit of trouble. Thank you so much to Zengeziwe Msimang, Harambe Chief Communications Officer.